Cavite, the history capital of the Philippines, is subsequently known as the Land of the Brave. The province's history is so rich and vast to be given those monikers. Caviteños played an important role in Philippine sovereignty by resisting Spaniards and other colonizers to overtake the country. The name Cavite comes from the Hispanicized form of Kawit, or it may be a corruption of Kalawit, a Tagalog word for hook, in reference to the small hook-shaped peninsula jutting out to Manila Bay. The name originally applied to the peninsula Cavite-La Punta, or now the Cavite City, and the adjacent lowland coastal area of Cavite Viejo, now Kawit. Another theory proposes that the name is Hispanicized form of Cavite, Tagalog for joined, attached, or connected, referring to the peninsula's topographical relation to the mainland. Edmund Roberts, in his 1821 memoir, stated that the natives called it Cavite due to the crook point of the land extending into the sea. Cavite is surrounded by Laguna Province to the east, Metro Manila to the northeast, Batangas Province to the south, and to the west lies the South China Sea. Cavite has a population of 4,344,829 according to the 2020 census, and has a total land area of 1,427.06 square kilometers. Cavite's capital is Tres Martines City.
If you decided to visit Cavite, it won't be complete if you can't visit their tourist attraction located at the entrance of Manila Bay. It is the Corregidor Island. Isla ng Corregidor, or the Island of Corregidor. It is used before as the defense during World War II in 16th century, and they name it as the Island of the Corrector. It's a pleasure to visit one of the historical tourist attractions here in the Philippines. It's like we can add this up into our knowledge and experience.
The Aguinaldo Mansion, are also known as the House of the History. It is the site of a significant moment in Philippine history. The original structure of the house, built in 1845, and was made of nipa and touch materials. 4 years later, it was rebuilt with a variation of Philippine hardwood. The tower of the house, distinctive balcony, were built in 1920s as a part of a significant restoration. During those times, the home was also renovated with architectural features of nationalistic themes, emblems, Masonic, and the popular art of modern and Art Deco style of the early 20th century. The house where the president lived was donated to the Filipino people in 1963, a year before he passed away. In 1964, the house was placed under the care of National Museum of the Philippines and was declared as a national shrine through the Republic Act of 4039. By the 1972 Executive Order number 370 transferred the shrine under the care and maintenance of the National Historical Commission. Today, the house continues to emanate the vision of a free and proud nation as it perpetuates the ideals of 1896 Revolution and the 1898 Proclamation of the Philippines' Independence. Thank you.
The Malibik-Libik Falls, located at General Emilio Aguinaldo, Cavite. The Malibik-Libik Falls is a result of convergence between three rivers flowing from Magallanes, Aguinaldo, and Maragondon, Cavite. The place is isolated and still considered undisturbed, as you will encounter monkeys and a lot of birds along the way. Malibik-Libik Falls is a little bit hard to find, good for nature lovers and hikers. But there is a guide, a barangay official that can take you there from the barangay hall after you register.
Wagayway Festival. It is celebrated every 28th of May in Imus, Cavite. It commemorates the Battle of Alapan, where many Filipinos, following the lead of General Emilio Aguinaldo, who risked their lives against the conquering Spaniards. Tagged as Wagayway or Wave, the historical Imus is the place when Philippine flag was first waved to signify a won battle. The said festival is a reminder of the fact that Imus was where the first wave of flag happened. And through this festival, people are reminded of the pride that Imus hold a significant part of the history. During the event, which was filled with many celebrations and awareness campaign of the history of the Battle of Alapan, and why Imus should be considered the real flag capital of the Philippines, which later on awarded to the city. The most memorable of the celebration was when a reenactment of the Battle of Alapan was staged to the public. Many spectators during the event were captivated with the dramatic historical milestones and thus ignited the hearts of the Imuseños to regain their pride. Paru-Paru Festival. The city of Dasmariñas, Cavite celebrates the Paru-Paru Festival every 26th of November. The first Paru-Paru Festival was launched on November 26, 2011, coinciding with the second cityhood anniversary of Dasmariñas. The metamorphosis of the butterfly resembles the events that the city underwent towards becoming a progressive city.
Festival Amadeo Cavite, Pahimis is the Amadeo word for pasasalamat in the olden times. As a tradition, coffee farmers gave away his last can of harvest as a sign of thanksgiving, believing that by doing so luck and abundance would come to the next harvest season. A eat-together gathering with the neighbors who serve as the Pahimis before the start of business, venture or relatives and friends who are sent part or harvest food is Pahimis. Gives evidence to the tradition, a coffee festival named after this cultural practice will be held annually for Thanksgiving and good luck. The yearly affairs to seek the boost the Amadeo's thriving coffee industry to the position of the municipality as one of the promising havens of investment in terms of agri-business and ecotourism. The festival hopes to revive a good tradition of gratefulness for those who do good for themselves and their fellow men.
Malabanos is a Cavite-style fish adobo dish made of eel, which is meaty like pork. Katulad lang siya ng pagluluto ng simpleng adobo, pero instead na pork or chicken yung gagamitin, giant eel yung ilalagay.
The delicacy that I found in Cavite is the kare-kare that is also called pipian. And that is what captured my attention is the kare-kare version called pipian. Made with the usual kare-kare ingredients such as ground peanuts and rice. What made Cavite's version unique as the use of chicken. It used chicken instead of beef. It is closer to the Mexican cuisine than Spanish. Having been brought to the Cavite through the gallon trade, the chicken is put inside down into a pan with salted garlic. It is followed by broth, rice flour, peanut butter, salt water.
When visiting Cavite, you should try their delicacies named lumpia fresca, or most popularly known as the lumpiang sariwa or the fresh spring rolls. These delicacies consist of ingredients that is more on vegetables, and this won't be complete without adding the famous lumpia sauce.